Okay. Well, I'm waiting for everybody to vote and tell me what paint I should use. Let me begin removing these parts from the runners and try to make sure that I don't damage it. Okay. So, we have this and this. Wow, it's even shinier than before. Wow, look how shiny this is. Pretty nice. Alright. I guess we're going to have to flip this over. And we're going to work on removing some parts carefully. I'll work on this one first. A little bit nervous here, but if I do this... Well, actually no, correction. The instructions say that I have to nip it from here, but I'm afraid to scar this. So I'm going to do what I... God, I'm still nervous here. Alright, we'll do it this way. There we go. Alright, so doing that did not do no damage to the underside of the part. Fine. However, let's try this with the hobby knife a bit. Now remember, you gotta be very careful with the with your hobby knife. If you accidentally scratch it, you've pretty much damaged the part. There's no like that, like I just did right now. Probably I must have did it with this. All right, there we go. I think that's pretty much okay. And then using this here, cut that off like that. Let me try this with the clippers. Now I've always tooted my, I always toot my own horn. I always keep saying, always cut away from you, but I have an experience in cutting the blade this way, and I try not to force it. I try not to do it too fast, and then I just try to use some edges here. Like, okay, this one's fine. Like I do this. I think that's it. Alright, so that removes this part. So I got to do this for all the other parts that you see here. And I got to do it carefully and slowly. So this is going to take me some time. So here are all the gold-plated parts that I have removed from the tree. I had to be, of course, very careful with each part. Some of them, of course, took a little longer than normal, but some were easy. Well, a lot were easy. Be very, very patient when trying to remove these parts, for those of you who decide to purchase this kit. I'm going to put them on a separate... Actually, you know what? Let me do it now before I forget. I want to keep all this separate, so that way it doesn't interfere with my work. Now, there's nothing to prepare these parts. This kit is almost halfway done, you could say. It's the other parts that I have to work with, which we'll get to in a moment. I wish I had a scoop. Oh, I'll use this. Oh, and by the way, of course, everybody is more inclined that I use the blue paint by Tamiya instead of the metallic blue. I should have foresaw that. I threw the metallic blue in there by, you know, by chance. Some of the parts there. Okay. But yeah. After removing all the parts, all the blue parts, I am now going to use this color. But I need to prime this first. Before I prime this, I had to, of course, take a look at the manual and verify that, you know, to put together certain parts. That way I can, you know, get this kit quickly done. So some of the parts that had to be built quickly were, of course, this one, the actual beam rifle. Didn't need any extra parts, but of course I needed to put it together so I could sand it down here, under here, around the barrel. And even though this one comes with a gray handle, I can paint that. I can hand paint that one easily. Another part that needs to be built together were the. I think these were portions of the upper thigh. Let me just put this in there again. There we go. So I kept them on this because I want to prime them together. Of course, as you see, the red is already on this part, and I'm going to prime both of them. And then I'm going to individually paint the blue on this, and then the red on this. Another part here that I had to put together were the legs. The legs is very, very intricate and very detailed. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the silver. Don't know if I'm going to use the titanium silver or the chrome silver, which one of those two, and I'll paint the hydraulic. That looks pretty cool with that. Or I can use the silver that's on my Gundam marker. Probably a lot easier. So that's pretty much it. There was one last thing that I wanted to tell you, which of course I am looking for, and I have found it. For those of you who are probably thinking I'm going to spray paint this kit with the primer, no, I am not. Instead, I'm going to brush it with Mr. Surfacer 1200. Even though this can be used as a primer on an airbrush. Hopefully, hold on a second, I want to make sure this thing didn't dry up on me. Oh, good. It's still in liquid form. I want to hand brush this because I want to give it not a smooth texture, almost kind of a little bit of a rougher texture on the actual body of the kit. That way, when I paint the blue over it, it'll give it a nice rough look to it. So you have the shiny armor part and the rough look inside of it. Hopefully you guys will like that. So let's continue on with the preparation of the priming of these parts. Okay, so I haven't done this in a long time, and Every time I do it, it sometimes works, and then sometimes I make a mistake. Thankfully, other modelers like Vegeta and Makano Man have done this type of trick before. So, it shouldn't, you know, I gathered enough information for me to do what I think would work. So, let me just mix this guy up pretty much. It's really thick here, so I'm going to pour a big glob worth of it. That should be enough. Okay, now I'm going to thin this out a bit. I think I'm going to pop open my thinner here, Mr. Hobby Thinner, which is actually Mr. Color Level Thinner that I want to use. And actually, this is the broken one. Let me get the new one. Yeah, one of the plastic tubes broke. I'm going to put about that much here. Close it. And I'm going to mix it up, and as like everyone said, it should be the consistency of milk. It's a little thick though, but I think I can use this. At least it's enough to break it up. I've heard many good reports on using this as, you know, use it on an airbrush. Shit, I don't have any tissues here. Oh, here's one. And I always want to try it, but I was kind of like afraid I'm going to waste it all and then I'll be out of it. So I want to get myself at least 2 more bottles just to have it ready. So I'm using this very, very wide brush here. Give it a bit of a coat mixture here. There we go. And we're going to try this one. So I gotta spread it quick and fast. Make sure I get it in all the nooks and crannies. I haven't done this in over 10 years. Yes, I am that old. Alright. I just want to double check this again, make sure that there's no bubbles forming, and try to get some of the bubbles off this part so that when it dries, it's right now I'm feeling the drying effect right now. Alright,